Appreciate you being with us here on Atlanta News First Plus. We are covering this really tragic situation in Coweta County. You can see our first alert chopper over the scene of this house fire, which the coroner now says has killed 6 people, and that includes some young children. Now, there were 11 people in all inside that home when it went up in flames around 5 o'clock this morning. Again, 6 people, according to the coroner, have been confirmed dead. There are 5 others now being treated for serious injuries. Completely devastating for this community in Coweta County. It actually happened on Macedonia Road. Investigators have been with the state fire marshal's office on the scene, working to determine what exactly sparked that deadly fire. Authorities have not yet released the names of the victims, but tell us they range in age from very young to old. The American Red Cross is helping the family with immediate needs, and the local church community promising to be here for just as long as it takes. But what devastation there in Coweta County. Don Shipman has more.
It was a lot of heat, very hot, and a lot of smoke.
Flames shooting through the roof, smoke billowing into the air.
We had received information that there was possible people trapped inside the house.
6 people trapped inside the home along Macedonia Road, which officials say caught fire shortly before 5 in the morning when many were likely still asleep. Within minutes, firefighters managing to rescue all the victims, some of them young children, but it was too late.
Good family. Some of them attend our church.
Hours later, this is all that's left, the home gutted by fire. Pastor Buddy Waldron has known the family for years. Some attend his church. He's now tasked with the difficult job of somehow providing comfort to a grieving family.
There's no way we're going to reason this out, so there's going to be a lot of unanswered questions. Older generations, we know that our time is near, but for children, you don't expect that.
That's so true, and such a devastating scene. Again, the fire marshal has been on the scene investigating, and we're going to continue to bring you all the latest. Again, we're waiting for the identities of the victims to be released, and we'll bring you that. But again, 6 people killed in this massive house fire in Coweta County, 5 others seriously hurt. Among the victims killed are young children. We're going to continue to follow this story here on Atlanta News First and Atlanta News First Plus. Now to some other news that we're following, and this concerns really recovery from that massive water main break here in the city of Atlanta. The Atlanta City Council is expected to vote approving money for businesses impacted by that break earlier this month, and really several breaks. Our crew spent time on busy Broad Street Northwest in downtown Atlanta, speaking with a lot of business owners. And they say the lost revenue, the damage to the inside, it really is a lot to recover from, and they would so appreciate the help. Asia Wilson has more.
Like many businesses in this area, the owners of Storehouse Atlanta say they lost revenue and had damage to the inside. They say this relief program could benefit them. Invest Atlanta is spearheading the grant program aimed to help businesses impacted by the water main breaks. This includes restaurants, daycare centers, and small businesses like coffee shops and cleaners. Now, Storehouse Atlanta is a new business in downtown. They just opened in early May. They were just weeks in when all of this happened, and the day the water main broke, they had to send employees home and close for days. Right now, the price point of the damage is still being determined.
We also had some water damage in the freezer area and down in the basement, but the huge issue was having to be closed for a number of days as we waited for water to come back on in the basement. And our freezer runs on it freezes and defrosts based on a continuous cycle of water running through. And so when that water was no longer running, it didn't have the water supply, so our freezer froze up. And then when it defrosted down, we also had some leakage issues.
Small business owners could start applying for relief starting June 24th and could get the money by the end of next month. Now, it's important to note tonight at 5 o'clock, Invest Atlanta will be hosting a webinar detailing all of the guidelines for this relief program. In downtown Atlanta, Asia Wilson, Atlanta News First.
And I do want to let you guys know that there's a meeting At 5 o'clock, Invest Atlanta will be hosting a webinar detailing the guidelines and other information for this relief program. Now, if approved, small business owners could start applying for relief starting June 24th and could get the money by the end of next month. And we have the webinar info and application process on our website and also our free Atlanta News First app. Okay, let's talk about transportation in this growing metro city of Atlanta and especially the airport. So right now there's a push to bring a new travel hub to Atlanta. Amtrak is actually asking the government for nearly $30 million to build a new station in downtown Atlanta. And the plan would connect the station to 9 other cities and the Atlanta airport. If approved, it would be a major upgrade from Atlanta's current Amtrak station. Patrick Quinn has more.
I'm Patrick Quinn outside of Atlanta's Amtrak station. This is right between Buckhead and Midtown. Right now it's closed. It's closed for most of middays, for there just aren't a lot of trains that come through this station, but Amtrak wants to change that, building a new facility in downtown Atlanta. Amtrak in its latest 2025 grant report is calling for $29.9 million for its Atlanta Hub initiative. The federal dollars would cover design, pre-construction costs, acquiring property in downtown Atlanta. Now, Amtrak doesn't say where exactly they want the hub to be, but in a 2022 City Council resolution, the city signed on to support development in Centennial Yards near the downtown stadiums. In its grant report, Amtrak said the new hub could better connect Atlanta to Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. And these 10 cities, Macon, Savannah, Chattanooga, Nashville, Memphis, Greenville, Charlotte, Birmingham, Meridian, and New Orleans.
Many of our residents here, not only just in the city of Atlanta, but across the Atlanta region, rely on connectivity with these sister cities for commerce, for financial transactions.
Now, it's very early stages of this potential project. We reached out to Amtrak to get a better sense of the timetable and also where exactly this new station could go. They did not get back to us this evening. From the current Amtrak station near Buckhead, Patrick Quinn, Atlanta News First.
And thanks so much to Patrick for that report. Okay, let's talk about a very important historic date to remember. We're talking about Juneteenth. And, you know, some Fulton County families spent this weekend recognizing Juneteenth. And the official holiday is actually recognized on Wednesday. Atlanta News First, Bridget Spencer, is at Sandy Springs Middle School, where it was a full weekend of unity and really, you know, it was a lot of laughter, but also about history lessons and looking back at the past, trying to learn from it. There was even a special, pardon me for the video error there, even a special guest who's an Atlanta icon. Here's Bridget Spencer.
Dozens of people living in Fulton County came together at Sandy Springs Middle School to celebrate both Father's Day and Juneteenth.
It means honoring Black history as American history.
Speakers gave a history lesson on the national holiday, which is coming up on Wednesday. It marked the day slaves in Galveston, Texas were notified that they had been set free. Another lesson on the agenda, the role Black soldiers played in the Civil War.
Whereas the Revolutionary War to the Civil War, we were a strong component of why America is free right now for everyone.
Clifford Harris Jr., better known as T.I., showed up with a message in light of the recent gun violence across the city.
I think 99% of the problems that we have in our community would be solved by us sticking together.
The rapper says he hopes to make a positive influence on young people, and this Juneteenth celebration gave him the opportunity to do just that.
Most people are subjected to what they've been exposed to. So I just want to be, I want to offer myself as an example and, you know, just be a beacon of light wherever I can.
Another icon, award-winning screenwriter Eric Monti, also attended with his family.
He is the writer and creator of Good Times, The Jeffersons, What's Happening, the movie Coolie Hot, having T.I. and Eric Monti and just all the great talent that came out. It's important that our kids see that.
The message on this Juneteenth week is to keep unity, love, and hope alive.
My ancestors fought for our freedom, you know what I'm saying, so we could be here to celebrate.
To make Juneteenth a national holiday, a lot of people sacrificed a lot.
Bridget Spencer, Atlanta News First.
And I also just want to let you know about our Juneteenth Atlanta Parade and Music Festival, which is coming up next weekend. So the parade starts at noon. I have the parade route pulled up right now on our website, atlantanewsfirst.com. If you want to beat the heat, I do want to just say, you could always watch it from home on Peachtree TV. If you want to join in, though, you can go to atlantanewsfirst.com. Click on the community tab, and then that'll get you to this page that I'm showing you right now, which has all the information on the parade route, and all that if you just want to be involved. And we would so appreciate your support in paying tribute to this important date. Okay, let's talk about the Atlanta Dream and how they have been giving back to the community this past weekend. They've really made an impact on girls both on and off the court. Look at this. So they held a clinic. A very special clinic for young women aged 6 to 13 years old. Atlanta News First, Blake Devine was there for one of the largest clinics of this program.
Bailey Edwards is a 6th grader who walked away with many memories at the Power Her Dreams basketball clinic.
It's just inspiring to see all these women that look like me doing something so extraordinary and amazing, and it inspires me to go after whatever I want to go after, even if it may or may not be basketball.
This clinic was held at Girls Inc. in Marietta, one of 20 that the Atlanta Dream will host this season. Along with practicing a series of skills on the court, they're blending basketball with science and math.
We actually coded a little basketball game where we made a character that could actually make a free throw, so that was super fun.
Morgan Shaw Parker says the goal is to give girls ages 6 to 13 inspiration to achieve their potential.
Our goal is really to start to influence them early, to make sure that we help create pathways for these young girls to realize that science is fun, math is fun, but hey, if you do it through the sport of basketball, it's even more interesting.
While it's one thing to go to a game and cheer on the Dream, Tiffany Colley-Bailey says
and what I see today,
this experience is much more valuable.
it's wonderful to go to a game, right? But there's nothing like having a player come out to you and one-on-one work with you. There's nothing like having individuals who take the time to sow into you.
The work actually really happens for these young girls right here on the court. We're creating pathways for them to learn, for them to get excited at a very young age.
Teaching girls to be strong, smart, and bold. They're creating leaders for the future.
Kids in general are our future, and if we nurture them and take care of them in the right way, then they can do so much for our society and for our world.
And that was Blake Devine with that story. And just a reminder again, I mentioned our Juneteenth parade. So here's a look at the route once again, and that starts this Saturday at noon. And again, you can find all the information on atlantanewsfirst.com. Go under community, and then you can see all the details on the Juneteenth Atlanta Parade and Music Festival coming up next weekend. But if you just want to beat the heat, you can watch it from home on Peachtree TV. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day.